This one should be good meat. Before we jump into Pat Slabatini, make sure to slap that slab if you're new here. Meat Boy MMA. This should be a interesting breakdown meat because I'm curious if you are riding the hype train that is Lucas Almeida, and you gotta. What I think what is important to analyze is like the guys that he was supposed to fight after that Mike Trezano contest. He was supposed to fight Zubaira, supposed to fight Touchy Feely, and was also supposed to fight Hakeem Dawodu. So it's interesting that the UFC is giving him such tough guys in the featherweight division right off the jump. And I guess it makes sense because that win over Trezano, the former Ultimate Fighter winner, was pretty impressive. He was losing that fight, but ended up getting that round three finish in an epic comeback and one for the ages. But he's taken on who I anticipate to be a very hungry, likely angry Pat Slabatini in this one because what can you say about the slab? I mean, he's 4-1 in the UFC. He's a minus 185 favorite, and he had rifled off four easy work wins in a row, but then he got absolutely smoked by the leech, Damon Jackson. It only took 65 seconds, and that was a bummer for Slavatini because he was like a minus 400 favorite in that one. But one thing I want to sort of like remind everyone of his second fight against Jamal Emmers, he picked up a performance of the night submission, but if we remember, he got kind of rocked by Emmers as well, and he was on the ground. They were in these slippery positions, and ultimately he just went for that successful heel hook while Jamal Emmers tried the same, and that was a bad call given that the slab was pretty rocked and kind of dazed when he pulled that submission off. But I guess I bring that up because Damon Jackson rocked him and Jamal Emmers rocked him. One thing about Almeida is, as plus 150 dog, he's a guy who can really crack. So what are your thoughts on this one? Do you anticipate Slabatini being angry, coming back off that recent setback, and just light work mauling Almeida, or is the damage accrued and the perhaps suspect chin going to play against Slabatini in this one? Who you taking?
Yeah, no, Lucas Almeida seems like a very, very good prospect, good fighter. But, that one loss that he had is just like, you look at him and then who he's lost to, then you look at who they lost to. And I know MMA math isn't a thing, but I just don't know if he's at Pat Slabatini's level. But then you have Pat Slab Sleepy. He might still be in the shadow realm. I'm very torn on this. And I like that Almeida is an underdog. I never liked. I mean, I feel like Slabatini. It wasn't even that long ago when he got sent to the absolute shadow realm from the Leech, Damon Jackson. And I don't know, man. It's either going to be a classic Pat, grind him out, wrestle, ground and pound, easy decision, easy work, or that chin is glass, and he's gonna be hanging out with Luke Rockhold, on Sunday morning. And I don't know, something's telling me I gotta go with my gut. I'm taking the underdog. I'm taking Lucas Almeida. Pat Slabatini just did not settle with me right last time, and I just can't pick him until he gets back in the win column. So I'm going to go with Lucas. I like the momentum. I like the 2-fight win streak, and I like that he does not have a suspect chin.
Yeah, right on. I feel that for sure. And I think that the loss that you're referencing of Almeida was against Daniel Zellhuber. And he's another UFC fighter. He's not very good for sure. I mean, I guess he's on the come up, but I have been not yet impressed with what Zellhuber is offering. So kind of a questionable loss for Almeida there. You don't quite know yet what that will turn out as. But I feel you, Pat Sabatini. I mean, he did just get slept by the leech. And if we look at the Tapologies, 36% is only going with Almeida, but it's basically all Brown, so they think that he's going to be able to crack Slabatini similar to how he cracked Trezano, but 64% is rolling with Pat, and they're anticipating, like you said, classic Pat, because it's basically all beige. Yeah, perhaps he just takes him down. Perhaps he holds him there for 15 minutes. Are you at all concerned that Almeida's going to struggle with the groundwork that Sabatini will be offering, or do you just see Almeida being able to survive and at some point cracking him with a YOLO meat bomb?
Yeah, I think the YOLO Meat Bomb is going to be his bread and butter on how he's going to get this done. If it goes decision, Pat has got that as a lock. I just don't see how Lucas is going to win this other than KO. So I'm picking Lucas. I'm picking first round KO, maybe second round. But if it gets to the third, you already know that's a slab win.
Yeah, I'm kind of seeing it that way. I don't know. It's Pat Sabatini just trains with such good guys, right? And he's a dude who had so much hype. I struggle to think that he's going to lose two straight. I'm more of the mindset that he's going to come back hungry and maybe, I don't want to call it have a safe victory over Almeida, but perhaps he just grinds out something boring, something efficient, and it isn't the most enthralling fight, but perhaps like sort of when Hakeem Dawodu picked up that decision like a couple months ago where that dude needed a W bad. I anticipate Sabatini treating this fight the same, so I'm going to go Sabatini by decision, maybe even a late finish if he's able to pull something off on the ground, but not a pick that I love because to your point, I want to see what Sabatini looks like after he gets cracked by a couple of shots, because if Almeida cracks you, then he might go down, and if he's still feeling those aftershock effects from the Leech knockout, then it's going to be a rough night for Sabatini, but I'll take him to weather the storm. I'll take him by decision. Any last thoughts?
No, it's a great fight. Throw in the comments who you taking Sabatini or Almeida.